let's look at how to set up for a boost on the external switch. So as I'm running right now, actually let's just start from the very beginning. Well, here, let me show you the switch. So I'm getting some boost there, obviously. So let's look at how to do that. I'm going to get out of this one, which is not saved, and go back into it. So now it's just my standard settings. So let's zoom in here and have a look at how to set this up. I'm going to just tell you what I'm pressing here, but I'm going to zoom in on the screen. You won't be able to see my fingers walking around over here, but I'll tell you where I'm at on those switches. Let's see here. Alright, because the important part is what's going on here. So this is my standard bank of presets, and what I have assigned currently is that, and you'll see the light come on right here, over here on the right. See that blinking? That's my finger touching it. There. That is activating effects 1, and what I have there currently is a wah. So I tap the top of my pulse switch, that activates a wah. The bottom one activates BPM, faster, slower. That's how it's programmed now. So let's go in and program for a boost. So what we want to do is press edit, and let's just do this on FX1. Oh, an interesting thing to note about boost is if you run a boost before a compressor, you might notice that your signal isn't boosting. That's because the compressor is doing its job. So depending upon how you have your compressor set up, you might have it set up so that the boost doesn't show up at all. So you would want to put the boost after a compression. So if you had compressor on FX1, you'd want to have your boost out here on FX2. So let's look at two boosts. Let's look at a clean boost, and let's look at like an overdriven sound going into a boost. So first let's do a clean boost. So I'm rolling the wheel that allows you to select. There's the 3 roller knobs on the MS-3, and I'm just rolling the far right one, which is for selecting the effect. So you want to go into the overdrive distortion, and now we're going to turn it on for now, and I pressed pressed enter to get into it, and we're going to look at a clean boost. So now I'm rolling the left wheel to get down to these, these are boosts here. So there's a couple different ways you can do a clean boost. You can either have, and I'm kind of mixing my words here, I'm using boost instead of solo switch. What this really is going to be about is this solo switch, but let's talk about clean boost. So you can have it be, here's a clean signal with this effect off. You see it off right there. signal. And then if you activate the clean boost, turn the drive down a bit. So this is like volume here, and this is gain here. So I'm making it louder, but keeping it clean. And if we turn that back off, it's the same thing, only quieter. So one way to do this is the way I've shown right here. And I'm going to back out again so you can see kind of what is going on here. So I have this assigned to the top switch. You see it engaging there. That used to engage a wah on that FX1, but now it's engaging a clean boost. So here we're playing. You're tapping the top switch. Now we're louder. So clean boost. So if you're going like, it's your clean signal, just louder. That's one way to do it. Another way to do a clean boost. Let's go back into these settings. You can have like a clean boost on all the time. Maybe you just like the tone of it or something. Or maybe you have like this, what was there, a mid boost? Yeah, let's say you have like a mid boost going. It does change the tone a little bit, as you can tell. And let's say like that's on all the time, but now you want to boost that. So it's never off. It's always on, and you just don't want to make now this louder. So that's where we get into this solo switch thing. So I'm pressing the enter switch, which is like page right. You know, these little pages up here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. When you scroll all the way over, you have this option for a solo switch. And this is your, of the three knobs that are on the boss. This is the left one and this is the center one. So turning the left one toggles it off and on. And then this is just like your solo level. It always starts out at 50. So the effect is still on. Let's see if we get anything when we play like a solo, when we activate the solo switch. Yeah, we're getting some. Maybe like 5 decibels or so right there. But if you want more, you want it obvious, you just turn this up. So that's pretty obvious. It's keeping the same mid-boost tone, just making it louder. Okay, so we're doing it with our hand right now. How do we activate it to the switch, the external switch? So I'm going to exit out of here, pressing exit. And now we're going to roll this all the way over to the control. Press enter. And you have all of your control options here. From the switches all the way over to MIDI assignments. So starting at the left, we're going to scroll over to, okay, now this depends on where you have your external switch plugged into. I have my expression pedal in the 1-2 switch, and I have my pulse switch in the 3-4 input. So control in 3 and 4. So this would be the top switch. If you ordered one of my switches, the top is 1, bottom is 2, or top is 3 and bottom is 4, depending upon which input. Like this is one of the inputs and this is the other input. So for me, 3 and 4. So we want to make this be, I already have the top one, which is 3, assigned to turn that FX1 off and on. This one is currently doing tempo, like I showed already, but we're going to change that. So I press enter. There it is doing the tempo. And that was on FX1, so we're going to slowly scroll. There it is already. FX1 solo trigger. And then you have a couple options here. If you wanted it to be like momentary, you could turn this guy and it would be momentary, but we want it just set up just the way you see here. So if you have your boost on FX1, this is where you want to be. If you have your boost on FX2, then you just want to be there. But for this demonstration, FX1, toggle, off and on. If it's behaving opposite of what you want, this is just a polarity reversal. If it's behaving the opposite of what you want, you would just flip this. But normal is like this. So now let's zoom out and see what we get here. So now, just gonna press exit so I can see what's going on. You'll see the red light go off and on. This is toggling that boost. And then the bottom switch is going to toggle the solo of within that boost. So you hear it getting louder there. This is normal. And this is boosted. So let's go through the whole thing. This is with nothing at all. This is activating the mid boost. And I have it at unity gain. It's just changing the tone of the guitar. And then this is going to boost the signal louder, doing the solo trigger. Let's look at how to do this for like a dirty, overdriven type of boost. It's going to be pretty simple since we already have all the assignments made and everything. What you want to do is, it's pretty intuitive actually. We're just going to enter FX1. We're over on page 3, so we just want to scroll over back to where you can select the type. And instead of a mid boost, let's do, well, let's go crazy. Let's go with that rat. That rat sounds kind of cool. So right now it's off. I'm going to press the top button on the pulse switch to turn it on. And then I'm going to scroll over, pressing page right, so you can see the solo switch. Of course, let me zoom out so you can kind of see what's going on here. Well, it's going to be hard to show you everything because the exposure of the camera has to be... Well, you can see my hand here, and you can see me going on and off with the solo switch. But now you can see it going by pressing the bottom part of the pulse switch. So here's clean. You see it's off. And then I press the top switch and it activates the rat with the solo off. And then pressing the bottom switch activates the solo trigger. Going on with that. Camera back a little bit. Okay. So you can't see the screen anymore, but if you want to see the FX1 triggering, you can see it with that LED right there. And then let me edit this a little bit further. So I'm just going to go over to the far left screen and I'm going to turn down the effect level. I just want it to be a little more unity gain. Alright, and clean. And then this turns on the rat. And this kicks in your solo. The solo won't work set up this way without the rat being activated. Doesn't do anything that way. So that's about all I can show at this point. You can obviously use any kind of distortion. Here's that muff. Muff don't like that delay. Let's see. The crunch is kind of a nice one. So, clean guitar.